Hi everybody, welcome. It's Sunday afternoon. Have some questions here that I asked Spirit, and so here are the questions I asked. Can we lose our ability to connect to Spirit? Why do we get sick? Can the USA be sick? And why? And does 3iAtlas have anything to do with our politics? I think, yeah, those are the questions for today. And I sit and I ask Spirit what we need to know, and these are the things that have come up in the last few days. So thank you for joining. Tuesday night, I'm going to be having a live with Kelly Scarborough. We're going to do readings for you, a gift of readings, and I will be doing color readings probably, or a mix. Kelly will be using tarot and pendulum and dowsing rods, and so ask us anything. Okay, it can be personal or political or even universal. All right. And then, by the way, Kelly only needs 30 more people or subscribers to reach 1,000. So that'd be great if you can join us. And if you haven't met her, she's lovely. All right. And very talented in her readings too. Okay. So now let's look at first, can we lose our abilities to connect to the spirit world? Well, I have to say, first of all, um, we can't lose our ability to connect to the spirit world because that's impossible because we are spiritual beings having a human experience. But it can feel sometimes like we've lost our abilities, right? I mean, that happened to be last week, and it happened like, oh, I don't know, about 12 years ago. I felt like I was going through a time like, oh, what happened? What happened? For me at that time, and even this last week, I thought somebody's attachment. Now it was interesting. I felt there was a little bit of a someone that's alive, a human, had been like sucking my energy, like maybe some sort of a cord attached or something like that. So that's what it felt like then. Now that's not always the case. Sometimes, and by the way, if you find yourself in that, I just, you can cut the cord yourself. You use your selenite wand, or quartz, or you can imagine it, or you can have a friend do it for you. I like to have a friend do it for me because I don't, I usually do that. Now, other reasons could be that you've got a lot going on in your life and it's just a little too distracting, so you're not hearing spirit as well. Other reasons could be you're ill, right? Physical illness can make a difference too. Grief, heavy grief. It's harder to connect when you're in grief. Okay. Also, sometimes we're changing, like our abilities are changing. And instead of being clairvoyant, maybe we're going to be clairaudient. We're moving from one to the other as a predominant way of receiving spiritual input. Okay. Sometimes, especially like if we're feelers and we become knowers. And as we become more efficient, we may not see, hear, feel anything, but we may just know. Okay, so if you feel like you're not seeing anymore, but you're knowing, well, that's just another developmental phase. And it's all okay because we go through phases, okay? And sometimes when we feel like nothing is happening, everything is happening. That can happen too, okay? Just like when we change the way our clairs are working. All right, so that's that. Now let's talk about why we get sick. Well, when I asked Spirit that today, um, there's a lot of reasons, and Spirit was very clear. It's multiple reasons, not just one. Okay, sometimes it's karmic. Sometimes our soul has a plan for this. Sometimes it's an accident. Okay, so there's many, many reasons, but they were wanting for sure all of us to know that we're always, no matter how our health level is, no matter how much we're aware, we're always supported by a whole spirit team, innumerable, not one guide, five guides, more than too many to count guides. Okay, we all have that. And so, not just special people, everybody. Okay, we're all supported. And they also showed me a rainbow bridge. And like when we get through whatever we're going through with the illness, It's like gold at the pot of gold at the end of the bridge. That's at the end of the rainbow. That is what it was like. It's like certain gifts that we get for going through things. And it's kind of like, ooh, we have to go through that to get a pot of gold, you know? But there are reasons, and there's certain, our soul has a plan. Even if it's an accident, our soul knows how to put it into the basket of goodness for us. All right. We don't know what's happening on that soul level, why we do certain things and why certain things happen to us. So, but just know we are always loved. Okay, but can the USA get sick, become sick? Well, I mean, if you look at it now, I think it is sick. It's ill. You know, we've had periods on Earth where it's very dark. This is one of those, right? 1945 was one of, or 1942 was one of those times. The Great Depression was also, you know, of course, in the United States was one of those times in the US. So we are in that period now. And I got my impression from Spirit, the reason the USA is going through this dark period is one, we learn more compassion for other countries and other people, and more understanding, more compassion, more love, and not just for other people around the world, but also for those within the United States. So it's about learning more love and compassion. Gosh, I mean, how much more do we have? Because we, you and me, this people who watch this are all light workers. And I know your hearts are full of love and compassion and probably overflowing with that. So you think maybe we have already attained what we need, but probably not. We can always have more love, right? But there's some people who don't have that yet. And so we are in it together. We're all in it together. And unfortunately, the ones who are the leaders, like you and me, we have to be the leaders, right? We have to pull people through. And this is why we're here. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Really, thank you. Everybody, thank you for being here. Don't give up yet. All right. So now on 3iAtlas. So I continue to get joy with it. I continue to get that it's light. And I also was shown that it's like a dimmer switch or three dimmer switches that's gradually turning up on Earth. And so as we can put those dimmer switches in our heart and just turn those up gradually, because if we turned it up all the way, it would be like hurting your eyes. You know how you turn a light on, go from dark to light, it's too much. Well, we have to do this gradually for ourselves as well. Now, there are forces on the earth that love the darkness. They love fear. They love hatred. They feed on it. And when the light workers gradually turn on the light, it's also darkness in some of the politicians' minds and lives, right? And so the darkness that feeds behind the scenes with the politicians, that darkness will be leaving because the light is coming too bright for them. There's not going to be as much food here, not as much fear and hate. So that they're going to have to go somewhere else to find food to survive. So this, or they're going to switch to the light. So this is what I believe is happening behind the scenes with the dark politicians, men and women, and some of them have masks. You can't tell. They may portray themselves as being light, but when you look behind the mask, you'll be able to see, or maybe you already know, just know intuitively, or know in your heart, or know what you've heard. You know, you may hear behind the scenes what's really happening with them and know who's of the light and who's of the dark. But again, when we as light workers shine our light more, the dimmer switch comes on. Again, part of it is with 3iAtlas. Then they leave. So I believe that this is happening. And I also believe, and I've been shown this many times, between 2 and 7 years, huge changes, well, in the United States, but also around the world. So lots, I feel in the really the next year or two, especially 2026, I get this that there's just a lot of turmoil, a lot of changes. But every time there's a change, a change, a change, it's like more light. Oh, more light showing. Oh, more light, more light, more light. And so eventually, where the darkness, I mean, yeah, can we ever clear it all out? No, but it won't be as powerful. And it won't be just so distracting because right now it's quite distracting. What's being dug up is quite distracting. But the more we shine our light on it, the more it releases and goes somewhere else. So this is our job right now. I also felt, okay, 2 to 7 years, a lot of changes, but moving toward the light. 20 years, we're going to be in harmony. I feel almost unrecognizable. Like Earth will have more trees, we'll have plants that are more nutritious and more conscious. Houses, even I saw houses as being more conscious, taking care of us, like working with our energies, very let's see here, a match to our energy that will help heal, clear our energy field, and also even protect us in a different way, not just from the elements of the weather, but from the elements of any forces, like our real protectors. Okay, now I know we can create a healing environment in our home with colors and light and the way we place our plants and things like that. Of course, we can do that now, but it feels different in 20 years that like a houses will be more living. And I know that may sound crazy, but I felt that. And animals will be more conscious. We'll be absolutely working with animals and plants more telepathically, and much more in harmony. There will be no deliberate intention to harm from anybody. It will be really such a beautiful I know I can't prove it. 20 years from now, I'm going to be 86. And I hope maybe I'll be here. I suppose I probably will, but maybe not. But even if I'm not here in the physical, I'll see it in the spirit, from the spirit side of life. And when I see it, I know we did it. Like all of us, you guys, we're all doing it together. We're all going to give each other that high five. We did it because I believe the people in this community, we know each other on a soul level. Our teams know each other. We're working together. And I'm getting chills as I say this. We're all working together to bring more light, to clear out that darkness because it's just too bright for them. There's nothing left to feed on. They're going to have to go find another host. Okay, so we're doing it. We're doing the work, you guys. It is happening. And how do we continue it? We stay in the heart. We turn up that dimmer switch. You know how it is when you walk into a room and somebody's in a bad mood. My daughter's like this. She's very moody, and it's like, oh, I'm going to stay out. She's a Cancer. I'm a Cancer. Cancers are known to be moody. Plus, she's got hormones and everything else. So, um, anyway, so you just know when people are kind of like moody, you just like, oh, stay away. And even when we're, some people who are very angry, you can feel it. But let's just say the opposite. When we're in there feeling love, joy, light, and you go to a room and somebody's got that going on, you want to stay, you want to enjoy. And this is where we are. So we can do this for each other. And I'm just so grateful to have you all as part of my community. And thank you so much for being here. And I wish you a great evening. I wish you a great week. And I'll see you Tuesday night. I hope you join. And blessings, everybody. Bye bye now.